If you want it later, thank you. If you wanted to watch it later, if you needed anything, that will be available to you. We'll roll right into our agenda. Tonight, we're going to talk about, we're going to do some introductions. We're going to go over service unit support to new volunteers, which will include our new leader fair and our new leader patch program. And we will talk about our cookie rookie guides. So tonight, what we're going to do for introductions, there's a lot of people here. We're going to go ahead and put in the chat log your name, what service unit you're in, what service unit position you hold, and your favorite fall activity. And while we're waiting for those to roll in, I'm going to ask my facilitators to introduce themselves as well. I'll start with myself. My name is Maddie Hoffman. I am a troop support manager in the North region. And my favorite fall activity is probably going to the apple orchard. Jennifer, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm Jennifer Parker. I'm a community troop support manager in the Central region. And my favorite fall activity is we do a corn maze annually up by us at Suter Farm. So super fun. Molly?
I am Molly Daffner. I'm the product program manager out of the Dayton office. And my favorite fall activity is going to Tom's Maze.
Ooh. All right, let's see what we have. We have Amanda Grant. She's from Fairborn Service Unit. Kathy Valenti, Service Unit 219. She likes Halloween parties. I like those too. LaDonna's from Service Unit 221, and she likes walking in the beautiful woods, like all the leaves change and stuff. Amanda, she's from, I'm going to butcher this, I'm so sorry. Senesecum, is that right? And they're going to the pumpkin, she likes going to the pumpkin patch. Oh my gosh, there's so many rolling in. Sheila from 430, she loves to sit by the fire. Me too. Yeah, so everybody make sure you check out the introductions, get to know each other a little bit, and we will jump right in. I'll pass it off to Jennifer so she can start talking about new leader support.
Hi, everybody. So we all know that being a new leader can be overwhelming. There's just so much to learn. So we've created a new leader onboarding process to provide support to our new leaders, both from the council and at the service unit level. So today we're going to discuss how the service unit can support new leaders. So here you can see a quote that we have from a new leader. I have to admit, signing up as a Girl Scout leader scared me. However, I just came from my service unit meeting and I am pumped. I can't wait to do a ton of fun stuff with our kiddos this year. So we know that the support that our new leaders get from the service unit is really important. And we wanted just to review that today and kind of have some discussion around some of the things that we can do for our new leaders as we're getting them onboarded. So I want to review the onboarding process, kind of looks like what the new volunteer goes through as they're getting on. So we've divided things up into their first 15 days, 30 days, 60 days, and ongoing support. So on our next slide, first 15 days. So obviously we've got troop formations going on. We've got our recruitment manager, our community development managers out there. We've got our recruitment coordinators out there doing troop formations. So hopefully we're getting troops formed. And they're meeting that minimum 2 troop leaders and 5 girls, ideally. So once a troop leader signs up to be a volunteer, they're going to receive a welcome email from GSUSA. And then that's going to trigger them to do their background check. So they get an email from advocates at Sterling to complete their background check. After they are through and have received they become eligible, the background check's all cleared, they're going to receive a welcome email from GSWO appointing them as a troop leader. We ask that all new troop leaders keep that letter so they can take that with them to the bank to open their bank account. And in there, it has kind of their next steps about what they're going to do through the process too. So in their welcome email, it's going to guide them to complete their troop startup training, getting started. So all of our troop startup training this year is now available on GS Learn. In the past, we offered through GSUSA, the Successful Leader Learning Series or Girl Scouts 101. So instead of having our volunteers do that now, we have created a training that's GSWO specific. So they're going to do that online training that's required. And then after they've done that, the community development manager is going to be connecting with their volunteer to provide them some onboarding progress as well. So up next in our first 30 days, we are going to do the next part of their new leader training on GS Learn, which is troop startup next steps. Then they're going to touch base with their co-leader. We want them to talk to each other, find best ways to communicate about their roles, getting them connected and planning their first meeting. During this time, our parents are kind of waiting for, and the girls are waiting for their troop to get started. So we want the troop leader to be in contact with the parents and caregivers to introduce themselves and kind of notify them about when the parent caregiver meeting is going to be scheduled. We want the new leader to learn about their local service unit and get connected. We want the community development manager to schedule a meet and greet to connect with the staff representative to get more hands-on experience with them. So then for the first 60 days, we want leaders to meet with their service unit to get onboarded. This may vary based on the service unit. We want parents or the new leaders to host a parent caregiver meeting for their troop. If it's the right time of the year, they will discuss fall product program or the cookie program. Then we want them to create their year plan in the volunteer toolkit. They can open their bank account at our preferred bank, which is Fifth Third or another local bank if that's not applicable for them. And they will follow the procedures found in Troop Startup Guide. And then after they've had their first meeting, they can have their first couple meetings. If they're a Daisy troop, we have the Daisy Grow Kit available for them to utilize. So a lot of great things going on in the first 60 days. So we've gone over first 15, 30, and 60. Obviously, if things are progressing quickly, they don't have to wait till 60 days to complete these steps. That's just happening within the first 60 days. And then ongoing support that we're going to provide. We want them to attend their local service unit meetings, so they're getting connected with you guys at the service unit level. Continue training on GS Learn. We have new grade level guidance trainings available. We have product program trainings available. So all kinds of great trainings available for our volunteers to do. New this year, Maddie's gonna go over that in a second. We have our new leader fair. And then we want them to attend council sponsored programs with their girls, and they can find that on GS events. So now that we understand that, Maddie's going to talk a little bit more about some of the new leader things that we're doing this year.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. So a couple of things that we have created this year to help us with retention of new leaders. We have done our new leader fair, and what that is sort of an open house style event that gives first and second leaders a chance to connect with other troop leaders. And they can do that while they learn about badges and journeys. They can learn about the product program. They can do other badge activities that we have there as well. And then for just a little added fun, if they visit each station, they'll get a little memento, which I'll talk about in just a second. But you're probably wondering, why are we inviting second leaders or second year leaders as well? So last year with the pandemic, we know that caused a lot of problems for our first year leaders. So we want to make sure that they can come in and get any information that they need and start their second year out strong. Some of the tables that we'll have at the event, they'll be able to do a swap. They can set up their year plan on the VTK. They can do caper charts. We'll have 2 new badge activities. They can sign up for program events. They can learn about the product program and outdoor. And we'll have somebody there to help them with the resource center. So teach them how to check things out and bring those back when they're finished with them. So lots of good things happening. So if anybody is interested in helping with that, you can let us know. It's going to be a really fun day. And if the new leaders visit each station, they will earn the first portion of their new leader patch, which is the second thing we've created this year for new leaders. So we have started a new leader patch program, and the requirements for that, what they'll do is they'll meet with their community development manager staff, or they will attend the new leader fair. And what they'll do is they'll earn the outside of the compass. So as you can see, there's north, south, east, and west, and there's all different ways that they can earn each of these patches. There's 5 separate patches. So that first one, like I said, the outside ring is meeting with their CDM, and or they can go to the new leader fair. If they attend a local service unit meeting, they'll earn the north patch. If they attend any Girl Scout council or partner event, they will earn the south patch. If they participate in the product program with their troop, they'll earn the East coordinate patch, and with their troop, if they complete a community service project, they'll earn the West coordinate patch. So we're doing this just to help those new leaders commemorate those experiences of being a first leader. We want to make sure that, they have all the fun things that you guys would have had before, with the pandemic and stuff. So together, the 5 patches will make the compass, and it's called obviously Leading the Way. And once a leader has finished all of these or finished one of these, they can get them either way. They can go to gswo.org/new leader patch, and they will fill out the JOT form that's on there. And then once that's filled out, the JOT form will automatically send them an email that says they have received that patch. They can bring it to their local Girl Scout office and give it to the front desk, and that customer care person will give them their free patches. So pretty simple process. We're hoping that it will help new leaders jump in and get that support from other service unit volunteers and go to those program events, those types of things. So that's what we have this year. I can pass it off to Jennifer, and she's going to lead us in a new leader support discussion.
Yeah. So Maddie has put in the chat log too. We went over the new leader onboarding process. So there's kind of a map for new leaders. So she's put that in the chat log. And I believe she's going to put in the flyer for the new leader fair for you guys to see, and a flyer for the new leader patch too. So if you want to click those and download them in the chat log, you can do that as well. So our discussion. So we're going to stay all together. We have a smaller group today, so I don't want to break out into rooms, but I thought we could discuss a little bit about how you as a service unit provide support to your new volunteers. So how does your service unit welcome new leaders? Maybe if you hit enter, I think our question will pop up then. So if you guys want to share, or if you're a staff member and you see that there's not a service unit representative here from some of your service units, feel free to share how your service units do stuff. I see Kathy in the chat log just put she did her service unit does new leader welcome campfire. So I got to attend that before with them. It's wonderful. Great way to get to know all the new leaders and have a fun Girl Scout activity. Anybody else do anything special to welcome new leaders? Okay, well, we'll go on to our next question then. What support, advice, or resources do you provide new leaders? So Liz said that they do dinner at the service unit meeting. Dondi says they do investiture ceremony for new leaders. That's great. Vicky, you have a one-on-one time to introduce them, and then you have an investiture ceremony at the next meeting. Great. So I've seen before where service units, they have like a service unit newsletter, and they provide service units with contact information. I know some of our Dayton service units do that, where they give like a little pamphlet about all the contact information for the service unit volunteers. And then like a calendar of a list of events that you have for the year. Is there anything else that you, does anybody do like a new leader mentor program or anything like that that they might want to share? Well, quiet tonight. Feel free to unmute yourself. You don't have to type it in the chat log. Links to service unit meeting dates, great. Facebook page, share GS Learn, my GS, etc. in one email, so it's easy to find. Great. Vicki says they give them a ceremony book and offer all the support needed. We even volunteer to help at the first couple of meetings if they'd like that, and try to offer a specific mentor to each troop. That's great. So either Ryan says either himself or the GSLA will attend the first troop meeting I think that's really important. That's how, it can kind of be overwhelming when you do your first troop meeting. So being there is a great way to help get rid of the jitters. I agree. That's great. Glad you guys are able to do that. So our last question, if a troop is not engaged, so whether they're new or one that's been around for a while, if they're not engaged in the service unit, what do you guys do to include them or re-invite them or get them more involved? Send email updates and updates on Facebook. Good. See people using Facebook. Has anybody got a chance to use the Rally Hood at your service unit level? That he sends personal invitations to service unit meetings. Great. Amanda, you share your service unit calendar and upcoming events via email and on Facebook. Holly, send meetings, minutes from the meetings and ask if you could move the meeting to a different day if that would accommodate them. That's great that you kind of talk through that with your volunteers to make sure everybody can come on the date. Again, emails and Facebook. Good. So, Vicki, you post on social media. Dottie says the community service manager sends personal texts and calls to remind new leaders of the meetings. That's great. Yeah, so we see that, new volunteers who are engaged at the service unit level are ones that tend to stay around longer and maintain their troop. So we really think that the connection to the service unit is really important. And it sounds like you guys are doing a lot of great things to get those new leaders engaged with your service unit. So we're going to kind of share a little bit about some ideas that, wanted to share with you about how you could further support your new leaders at the service unit level. And it sounds like a lot of you are doing some of these things already. So we're going to go on to the next slide. So this is kind of broken down to the same way that the new leader onboarding process is. So how can the service unit provide support to a new leader within that first 15 days? So here we suggest that if you have access or how to access your looker report, that you look at the new leader report to see if there's any new leaders that have been signed up, or your community development manager can let you know that a new troop is getting started in your area. So that's going to happen in the first 15 days for you there. Then in the next 30 days, we want you to be able to connect with the new leader by inviting them to your first service unit meeting and provide them with how they can be connected. You can also add your new leader to your service unit communication, such as your email list, your Facebook group, your service unit rally. Maybe your service unit's using Remind to send out text messages and things like that. So we want to make sure that you're able to get them connected to that communication so they're getting that information right away. So we want you to try to do that in the first 30 days. Within the first 60 days then, so our staff members, we ask our community development managers to meet with our volunteers kind of one-on-one or via Zoom meeting. And we want you guys at the service unit level to kind of give a little orientation too. So maybe that meeting with a staff member and a service unit orientation could happen at the same time. So maybe you guys can meet with your new leaders before a service unit meeting, and the CDM could be there with you. So you're kind of onboarding them together and getting them information on the council level and at the service unit level. So things to talk about when you do an orientation or you're onboarding a new volunteer is, contact information, important information about service unit managers, maybe product program manager at the service unit level. So providing them with that contact information. Talk to them about when service unit meetings are and any upcoming events that they might be interested in attending. Again, if you haven't already, get them connected to social media or your communication platforms or methods. You can kind of talk about things that they've gone over in their troop startup training. If you guys haven't got a chance to look at that, you're all invited to do the new leader training on GS Learn as well. So you can kind of build on what they've already learned on there and provide additional support and additional feedback on some of the things from there. You as leaders know about a lot of questions that came up when you were a new leader or things that they might have questions about. So talk about frequently ask questions that you hear with them. If you guys want to do this, or if your service unit does them, this would be a great time to, connect them with their volunteer mentor. So you can assign that either at the service unit level or, maybe a community development manager can help you connect them with a troop. That would be great. You can promote any volunteer resources that you have available or any learning opportunities, maybe that you guys are going to hold at the service unit level or that GSWO is holding. And then product program. So if, you're getting new leaders onboarded in, October, then maybe you want to go over, fall product program with them during that time too. Or, if they come in December, maybe give them a little bit, start doing their cookie onboarding and stuff with them as well. So if you have the capability at your service unit, we do recommend that you help them connect with a mentor or somebody that they can connect with, maybe, a second year Daisy troop who did really well last year, or, a first year Brownie troop who just bridged from Daisies that can provide that feedback to them that they can get at the service unit level. I saw, we talked to some people, I know Ryan said that they go to first troop meetings and stuff like that to provide support. So here we say help support parent caregiver meetings. Maybe they don't know how to answer some of the questions that some parents might ask. So if a volunteer at the service unit level is able to go to some of those meetings to help support those new troops, that's really great. I think Vicki, I know I saw she posted in there that they hold an investiture ceremony. So that's a really great way to welcome new leaders. Ceremonies is a great tradition that we have at Girl Scouts. So to begin the year with an investiture ceremony and maybe a rededication ceremony for our existing volunteers is just a really good Girl Scout tradition. So now that we have dove into providing that support, I see Sandra said here, yearly survey to see what they would like to see offered at the service unit would be really helpful too. So at the end of the year, checking in about that would be great. So now that we've talked about getting those new leaders onboarded that way, part of the process of their new year is participating in the cookie program. So Molly's going to talk about the cookie rookies.
All right. So we know that cookie time is one of those times where the new troops need a little extra hand holding. So we provide cookie rookie kits each year. So I wanted to talk a bit about what will be included this year. So why a cookie rookie kit? Kind of touched on that earlier. So the cookie program is a program, and the girls can and should be involved in taking ownership of their business and developing their 5 skills throughout the product program. We know as a new troop, it can feel like a lot to lead the troop alone, and then you add in cookies on top of that, and it just gets a little crazy. So this kit is designed to help them out a bit. All right. So this year, included in the cookie rookie kit are sample cookies because the girls need to know their product. They'll get cookie rookie patches to commemorate their first year selling Girl Scout cookies. We will include a cookie rookie guide for leaders, which breaks down the cookie program into smaller digestible snippets to help them understand what they need to be doing when, some helpful hints, and just kind of breaks it out into segments to make it seem a little less overwhelming. New this year, we are including an activity with the supplies for the girls to complete that activity. We have not done that in the past, but we wanted to give them a good jumping off point. And it also helps the leaders have one less activity to plan for their girls to get them ready for cookies. And of course, we include a bag for them to carry everything. And I will pass it back to Maddie for questions.
Awesome. Thanks, Molly. So we had a super quick meeting today and we gave out a lot of information very quickly and everybody was very quiet. So we wanted to take some time to take questions. So if you have any questions or you thought of a suggestion, please unmute yourself and let us know. We will be here to answer those for anything that you need. And while we're waiting for questions to roll in or people,
Got one from Amanda right now.
Yep, I just saw that. Will the Cookie Rookie Guide be available online? We will post that online when it is available. That gets sent directly to the service unit cookie coordinators also with the Cookie Rookie kit. So the service unit coordinators will have a physical copy, but it will be posted online as well. Any idea when the cookie rally information will be available? We are working on that right now. We do have a new team member on the product program team, Caroline, and she is going to be heading that up as her first big project. So we actually talked a bit about that today, so information will be coming out.
Markel asked, where do we find the new volunteers information? The service unit chair and the data chair should have access to the looker reports. And in the looker reports, you can find a new leader list on there. If you don't know how to access that, I suggest that you connect with your community development manager, and we can work on getting you access to that and show you how to do that. Or you can always ask your community development manager for a list of new volunteers that are coming on your service unit as well. See any other questions right now? I know you were getting ready to say something else, Maddie, before.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, while we wait for questions, as always, we will give you an evaluation link to take for us. Let us know how we did, what topics you want to hear more about. I will drop that in the chat log so you can take that for us. But we will stick around for a while. Obviously, the meeting was pretty short tonight. So if you did have any questions or if you needed anything, we will be here. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I hope everyone has a good night and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Hope to see you at adult conference this weekend, some of you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. How could we forget adult conference?
We are just about ready for everyone.
Yay.
Good.
Vicki, how many people are coming to adult conference?
We have 93 registered attendees and probably a half a dozen non-participant facilitators,
Wow.
including the participant facilitators also. So we're excited. We'll have right around 100 people there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm still printing songbooks.
Yes,
Print
Liz, the
going
meeting
in
is recorded, so we'll get that sent out to everybody too.
Printers going in the background. It's the last thing we have left to print. So we're excited. Kathy,